This is destroying your memory right now. Not aging, not stress, not genetics. This, and no one wants you to know, but the proof is now undeniable. Scientists at the University of New Mexico just published a shocking discovery in Nature Medicine, one of the most respected medical journals on the planet. They dissolved human brain tissue, removed everything organic, and what was left was plastic. Sharp, invisible fragments lodged in the part of your brain that controls memory and personality. A credit card's worth inside your head right now. But here's the good news. New research has shown there is a simple and natural way to clear this plastic from your brain, and once it's gone, your memory, your clarity, your focus, it all starts coming back. People in their 70s, 80s, even 90s are getting their sharp minds back after doctors told them nothing could be done. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. As you know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a daughter who watched her mother slip away, forgetting conversations, forgetting faces, forgetting even my name, and refused to accept it. I spent thousands on specialists, supplements, and brain programs hoping to get my mom's memory back. Still, nothing worked. Every doctor said the same thing. She's 71. This is just what happens. Every single night, I got on my knees and asked God to show me a door that these doctors didn't know existed. And it happened. By the grace of God, help came from the most unexpected place. A man named Tom Garrison showed me something I would have never believed until a few months ago. That memory problems are not a curse we should accept blindly. That focus, memory, and attention can be brought back. No matter if you're 71 or 99, no matter how long you've been struggling, no matter how many doctors have shrugged and told you it's just aging. And most astounding of all, memory can actually improve as we age. That anyone can become what scientists call a cognitive superager. You'll understand exactly what that means in just a moment. Tom was one of the best federal prosecutors this country ever had. For 40 years, his memory was his weapon. No notes, no second chances, just total recall. Then it all shattered. He forgot a victim's name in open court, and a violent abuser walked free. The shock was too much. Tom woke up the next day 300 miles from home with no memory of who he was or how he got there. He managed to partially recover, started searching for answers, but doctors had nothing. So Tom did what prosecutors do. In a desperate race against time, he built his own case against failing memory. He uncovered disturbing research from Japan and Europe published in Nature Medicine about something invisible that's been building up inside your brain. My brain, everyone's brain. Something in your water, in your food, in the air you breathe, something no doctor has ever tested you for. Something your doctor will probably never mention to you. Not because they're bad people, not because they're hiding it. They simply weren't trained on this. You see, what Tom found didn't just save his mind, it saved my mother's. And right now, thousands of people across this country are quietly using what he discovered to reclaim the sharp, clear mind they were terrified they'd lost forever. People like Dorothy and Marcus.
I forgot my granddaughter's name at her birthday party. In front of everyone, I wanted to disappear. 6 weeks after starting this, I remembered every child at the party, every single one, their names, what gifts they brought. My daughter asked me how I remembered all that. I just smiled.
I was a project manager for 30 years, ran teams of 500 people. Then I started losing words in meetings, forgetting names of people I'd worked with for a decade. I took early retirement because I was too embarrassed to keep going. 3 months after starting this, my old company called and asked me to consult. I said yes. That was 8 months ago. I haven't missed a beat.
These are the cognitive superagers, regular folks, not genetic freaks, who just know something the rest of us don't, something Tom discovered. And I promise it will change your life. But before we get to that, I need to warn you. If the fog has been creeping in for you, if you've been lying awake wondering whether you're next, if you're terrified that one day your own family won't trust you to live alone, you're already in a race against time, because the damage happening inside your brain right now is real, and it's not waiting for you to make a decision. It's getting worse every single day, and what you're about to hear right now could mean the difference between spending your final years alone in a care facility, confused, forgotten, dependent on strangers for everything, and living out your best years with a sharp, clear mind, fully independent, fully present, making memories with the people you love instead of losing them. Tom, I can't tell you what it means to have you here.
I'm so glad to be here, and frankly, it's a miracle that I am. Not long ago, every doctor in this country was convinced my memory was done, finished, and yet here I am, sharper than I've been in 20 years. I believe God gave me a second chance and a mission to go with it, to show as many people as possible that they don't have to lose their minds, their independence, or a single precious memory with the people they love. Not if they know what I know now.
Let's start at the beginning.
Before the fog.
Before the fear. Tell us who you were.
For 40 years, I was a federal prosecutor. Defense attorneys called me the machine because I never forgot. A face, a date, a lie someone told in a deposition 6 years ago. I'd pull it out mid-cross-examination. Word for word, no notes. That memory put a lot of bad people behind bars. That memory was my whole identity.
So when did it start to change?
Memory loss doesn't start with a bang. It starts with a whisper. A name that should have been there. Gone. A word you've used 1,000 times, just out of reach. You're mid-sentence, and suddenly you're stalling, praying nobody notices the silence. And if that sounds familiar to anyone listening right now, stay with me. Because what I found out about why that happens,
Oh boy.
it's not what anyone told you. It's a game changer. It could mean the difference between spending your best years sharp, present, and fully there for the people you love, or watching it all slip away. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So, my memory problems, I told myself it was stress, right? But the slips got worse. I started keeping lists of lists. Every conversation became a performance. I tried to hide it as best as I could, but the people around me noticed. Tom is losing it, they'd say behind my back. They smelled blood.
My mom went through the same thing, hiding it.
Yep.
Little notebooks tucked in every drawer. I didn't understand what I was looking at until it was almost too late.
That's how it works. You adapt, you compensate, until one day you can't, and everything just falls apart. My last case before retirement. Angela Reyes, 32, 2 kids. Her husband had been beating her for years. Last day of the trial. I was about to present my best piece of evidence and lock that bastard up for a long time. The jury was watching. I opened my mouth and nothing. It was like a deer in the headlights. I fumbled dates, names, facts, made a complete fool of myself. But the worst thing, that bastard got away with a smirk on his face because my brain failed when it mattered the most.
What happened after?
I don't even remember leaving the courthouse. Don't remember getting in my car. Next thing I knew, truck horn, high beams, side of a highway. Nearly drove into a semi, 300 miles from home, 5-6 hours. Gone. And then I looked in the rearview mirror, and for 30 seconds, I didn't recognize the man looking back at me. I couldn't remember my own name. When you're reaching for your own identity, and there's nothing there, something breaks inside. But here's what I need everyone listening to understand. And I have undeniable proof. As an ex-prosecutor, I choose my words carefully. And when I found out what was causing it, and that we've been lied to, and that there is a way to protect your memory, stay independent, keep every precious moment with your family clear as day, it made me angry because the answer was there all along, and nobody was telling us.
We are going to get to what Tom discovered. Whether you're worried about yourself or someone you love, what's coming next could change everything. After the blackout, you went to the doctors.
I did. And that's where I made a mistake, and I hope nobody listening ever makes. I trusted the system to have answers. They didn't. After the memory blackout, I did what anyone would do. I went to the best doctors I could find. Top neurologists, brain scans, cognitive assessments, blood work, the whole workup. The diagnosis? Early stage, sudden cognitive decline. But what does that even mean? The doctor said, "It's normal for your age, Mr. Garrison." What? Imagine that. I was paying this man $400 an hour to tell me it's normal to lose my mind. I was outraged.
My mom's doctor said almost the exact same words. She's 71, what do you expect? Made me look crazy for wanting her to remember my name.
And that's exactly the trap. That's what they do. They've convinced millions of people that losing your mind is just what happens, that you should accept it. And once you accept it, you stop looking for answers, which is exactly what they want. But that's not true. memory decline because your aging is not normal. In fact, it's the opposite. And here's what nobody talks about. Studies by the National Institutes of Health show that attention, focus, learning, and long-term memory can actually improve into your mid to late 70s. Scientists call people who maintain this edge cognitive superagers. The older you get, the better your memory can be. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that starting today. But let me get back to my story first. So I pressed the doctor. I said, what's actually causing this? What can be done? And instead of a clear answer, they took a shovel of garbage and poured it right down my throat. So let me tell everybody what I tried so that you don't fall for the same mistakes I did. Obviously, first came the pills, Aricept, Namenda, the standard of care. I was vomiting almost every night. Side effects, they told me. But that wasn't the only side effect, because I did my own research and what I found made my blood boil. Some of these medications, and I'm sure millions of people are taking them right now, like your mom probably did, Emily, many of them have been shown to actually shrink brain tissue over time. There are peer-reviewed medical studies proving this, black on white, showing these drugs can accelerate the very thing they're supposed to prevent.
I think this hits home for a lot of people watching right now. You start taking a bunch of pills, and instead of things getting better, you can't even remember your own phone number, or worse.
Yes, I've been there. I was fooling myself that things will get better, but my brain was getting worse. To spend 15 minutes just to figure out what day of the week is, that's just horrible. So after the drugs failed, I tried everything else. Ginkgo, fish oil, brain training apps, thousands of dollars spent for absolutely nothing. But I want the good folks listening to know something. Every single one of those solutions is aimed at the wrong target, and I can prove it.
So the medical system failed you. Everything you tried failed you. Where does that leave a person?
It leaves you with a choice, because when you actually realize that brain fog isn't just brain fog, that, oh, where are my car keys, is in fact an alarm going off inside your brain. You realize something. You are in a race against time. Not just your memory is on the line. Your entire life is. I knew time was ticking fast for me. But 40 years as a prosecutor taught me something. When the obvious answers don't work, it means you're asking the wrong question. Everyone was asking, how do we treat the symptoms? Nobody, and I mean nobody, was asking what's actually causing this in the first place. I decided to find out. And what I found, Emily, I almost wish I hadn't, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And you'll never look at a glass of water the same way again. So there I was, doctors useless and pills making me worse, thousands of dollars in the toilet. But I'm a prosecutor, and when a case stalls, you don't go home. You go back to the evidence. One thing kept gnawing at me. If memory loss is just normal aging, then why doesn't everybody get it? I've met 85-year-olds sharp as a razor. Meanwhile, people in their 50s are forgetting their children's names. That's not aging. Something else is going on. So I started digging. Night after night, medical journals, research databases, international studies from Japan, Germany, places doing real research that never makes headlines in America. Until I found it. A study from the University of New Mexico, published February 2025 in Nature Medicine. They'd been examining human brain tissue, and they found something inside that had no business being there. I read that study 3 times. Then I closed my laptop and sat in the dark for an hour, because if what they found is true, it changes everything. Everything the doctors told me, everything I thought I knew about my own brain. But I'm not a scientist. I needed someone who could explain what I was looking at. Someone who was already studying this. That's when I found the Riken Center for Brain Science in Tokyo, one of the top neuroscience labs on Earth, and a man named Dr. Kenji Nakamura, the only scientist I found who was asking the same questions I was.
Finding Dr. Nakamura changed everything. For Tom, for my mother, and God willing, even for those of you listening right now. So let's bring him in. Doctor, thank you for being here. For everyone listening, Dr. Kenji Nakamura is the neurologist Tom found at the Riken Center in Tokyo. Over 2 decades studying cognitive decline, more than 40 peer-reviewed publications, and one of the few researchers on the planet connecting microplastics to memory loss. Tom, you reached out to this man at your lowest points.
Yeah, I did, and I'll say it plainly. He literally saved my life.
Hello, Emily, and hello to everyone watching right now. I'm honored to be here. Tom, when I read your message, I knew immediately what was happening to you because your story matched our research exactly. And it was completely different from what American doctors are trained to look for. You weren't experiencing normal aging. Your brain was under assault. At the University of New Mexico, researchers took brain tissue from autopsies, real human brains. They dissolved the biological material, the cells, the fats, the proteins, everything organic. What was left was everything that wasn't organic. Plastic, sharp, shard-like fragments of polyethylene. The same plastic in your water bottles, your food containers. Every time you drink from a plastic bottle, microwave food in a plastic container, even breathe the air. These particles are so small they slip right through your brain's natural defenses, pulled from the human frontal cortex, the part of your brain that controls memory and personality.
Now look at this. I'm not a scientist, but I spent 40 years in courtrooms. When two lines match like that, that's not a coincidence.
Tom is right, and I need everyone listening to understand this. This is not something that might be in your brain. It is in your brain. Right now, it's in my brain. It's in Emily's brain. It's in your brain. If you are alive in 2026, trust me, it's in there. And the amount is growing. Brain plastic levels have increased 50% in just 8 years. The only question is how much damage it's already done.
But how? How does plastic in the brain destroy your memory?
Let me make this simple, because everyone listening deserves to understand this. Picture your brain as a city, billions of neurons connected by an incredibly complex network of roads. Electrical signals travel these roads constantly. That's how you think, how you remember, how you recognize your own face in the mirror. Now imagine someone starts dumping debris on those roads. Tiny, invisible particles. At first, traffic still flows, just a little slower. But day after day, more debris piles up. Roads get clogged. Signals that used to flow instantly get stuck. Some don't arrive at all. These particles wrap around your brain cells. They clog the tiny capillaries that deliver blood and oxygen. They physically crush the connections between neurons, the synapses that allow one brain cell to talk to another. We call this the plastic stranglehold.
The plastic stranglehold. When Dr. Nakamura first said those words to me, my whole life suddenly made sense. Every forgotten name, every lost word, every blank stare in the courtroom. It wasn't me failing. It was this.
And Tom, that's what I need every single person listening to understand. If your memory is slipping, it is not your fault. Not your fault. Your brain is being physically suffocated. But here's what most researchers missed. The stranglehold is only half the problem.
There's more?
The microplastics don't just block your neuron, they trigger inflammation. Chronic, relentless inflammation throughout the brain. And that inflammation destroys something critical. Your brain's insulin receptors.
Insulin? Like diabetes?
Exactly like diabetes. Most people think of diabetes as a blood sugar problem, something that happens in your pancreas. But researchers have identified something called type 3 diabetes, insulin resistance specifically in the brain. Your brain cells run on glucose, sugar, but they can't absorb glucose without insulin. When microplastics destroy your insulin receptors, your neurons can't access fuel. They starve, slowly, one by one. So picture what's happening. Your brain is being strangled from the outside by plastic debris crushing your neural connections. And it's being starved from the inside because your neurons can't get the fuel they need to survive. 2 attacks happening simultaneously, right now, inside your head. This is why nothing else works. The ginkgo, the fish oil, the brain games, the prescription drugs. They might scratch the surface of one problem, but they don't clear the plastic, and they don't restore your brain's ability to feed itself. It's like mopping the floor while the faucet's still running.
The entire medical system is selling you mops while your brain is flooding. Now do something for me, right now. If you have a wallet or purse nearby, pull out a credit card, any card. Hold it up. Scientists calculated that your brain now contains roughly this much plastic by weight, a full credit card's worth, and that amount doubled in the last 8 years. Now, quick test. Name the last 5 people you called on the phone this week. All 5. Now something even easier. Picture your bathroom counter. You stand there every morning. In 5 seconds, name the first 3 items on it from left to right. If those came up blank, that's not aging. That's the plastic stranglehold. And this plastic card reminds me every day of the real danger inside of our brains.
This is truly an eye-opener. But why aren't more doctors talking about it?
Because medical education is 20 years behind the research. Doctors test for what they were trained to find. Microplastics in brain tissue wasn't in their textbooks. And frankly, there's no pharmaceutical solution. Drug companies can't patent a treatment for environmental contamination. So the research sits in journals, and millions of people are told to just accept it.
And that's what makes me so angry, Emily.
Yeah.
The evidence is right there. But because nobody can make $1 billion from it, good people, people like your mom, like me, like everyone listening, are told to just live with it. Accept your fate. Buy another bottle of pills that won't work. No, not anymore.
So we know the cause, the plastic stranglehold, type 3 diabetes, 2 attacks at once. The question everyone listening needs answered right now, can it be stopped? Can it be reversed?
That's exactly what we set out to answer. And what we found, I believe it could help millions of people.
This is the part I've been waiting for you to hear.
Before we go further, if this research is real, if it's published in Nature Medicine, you may wondering, why hasn't anyone heard about it? The answer will shock you. You see, Tom and I ran a TV ad about this. Watch what happened.
New research reveals microplastics are accumulating in human brain tissue.
It may be connected to memory loss and cognitive decline, but scientists have identified a natural way to fight back.
3 days. That's how long the ad lasted before the TV station pulled it. They told us, we're getting pressure from above, legal threats. We can't run this anymore. So we went online, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. Same thing. Posts flagged, videos taken down, my personal account shadow banned.
Twice. The reason?
Violates community standards. But it was just a link to a peer-reviewed study from one of the most respected journals on the planet. And get this research has been public for months. Where's the CNN story? Nowhere. They're counting on you never finding this. But they can't stop a conversation. That's why this podcast exists.
Emily, in 40 years as a prosecutor, I've never seen a case this clear. The evidence is right there, and the fact that people are being kept from it, and that's why we're doing this.
So Dr. Nakamura, you identified the 2 attacks, the plastic stranglehold and type 3 diabetes. The question is, can you fight back?
We can, but I want to be clear about our approach because it's completely different from anything you've tried before. Here's what most people don't know. Science has proven that memory can actually get stronger as we age, not weaker, stronger. But to achieve that, there's only one path. You must address the root causes, both of them, simultaneously. Any solution that only fights one attack will fail. You can't reduce inflammation if plastic debris is still crushing your neural connections. You can't provide nutrients if your brain can't absorb them. You have to break the stranglehold and restore insulin sensitivity, both at the same time. To achieve that, we identify the precise combination of specific material compounds, some from traditional medicine used for centuries, some from cutting-edge research. The first group supports the brain's natural detoxification pathways, clears the debris, reduces neuroinflammation, protects your synaptic connections. The second group restores insulin sensitivity in the brain, repairs damaged receptors, improves glucose transport, gives your neurons access to the fuel they've been starved of. What does this mean in real life? It means the word you're searching for is suddenly right there. It means walking into a room and remembering exactly why you came. It means following a conversation without losing the thread. It means waking up with clarity instead of fog. When you combine both approaches, clearing the obstruction, the brain begins to heal itself.
When Dr. Nakamura first explained this, I said, I've tried everything. Why would this be different? He said, Tom, you've been fighting the symptoms. This goes after the cause. So I tried it, Emily. I won't promise miracles.
Yeah.
Everybody is different.
Yeah.
But here's what happened to me. Within weeks, the fog started lifting. I'd wake up and there was clarity. The words came back just there when I needed them. No panic, no grasping. I stopped checking my lists, appointments, conversations from days ago. I just remembered them. My wife looked at me one morning and said 3 words, "You're back." I almost broke down right there.
How long before you truly felt like yourself?
About 3 months before I felt like myself. But it wasn't a straight line. I'd have a great week, then a frustrating day where I'd lose a word I'd had the day before. Dr. Nakamura warned me that's normal. The brain heals in waves, not in a straight line. By month 4, the good days far outnumbered the bad. That's when I reopened the Angela Reyes case. And I'm proud to tell you, justice was served. That abuser is behind bars for 15 years. Angela called me crying. She said, Mr. Garrison, You come back from me. The machine was back.
Yeah.
And this time, I didn't fail her.
That's truly incredible, Tom. Remember those cognitive superagers we talked about earlier? People in their 80s and 90s with memories sharper than people half their age? Tom, I believe you're becoming one of them. If what you found can do that, give someone back their mind, their purpose, the chance to make right what went wrong, then everyone listening deserves to know exactly what it is. Tom, your story is powerful. And you've seen what happened with my mom, but I know what some people are thinking. That's two people.
Yeah.
Two stories. How do we know this wasn't just a lucky coincidence?
I'd be skeptical too. 40 years demanding evidence in courtrooms. One testimonial doesn't make a case. So let's build the case.
We've tracked hundreds of patients using this protocol. The results were consistent enough that we began documenting them formally. On the left, this is what we typically see in people before the protocol. These darker regions, reduced activity, restricted blood flow, a brain struggling to function. On the right, the same people after trying the protocol. Blood flow restored, activity normalized. That brightness spreading through the neural pathways, that's a brain working again. We've seen this across every age group, every severity level. The trend is unmistakable.
That's remarkable, Dr. Nakamura. But I'll be honest, when I first heard all this, I needed to verify it for myself. With my mother's life on the line, I couldn't just take anyone's word for it. So I reached out to independent researchers. Here's what Dr. Michael Brewer, who spent 14 years studying why most memory supplements fail and has analyzed over 1,200 products, had to say.
The fact that we now know what's actually causing memory loss and that we can fight it with natural compounds, it changes everything for millions of seniors.
And Dr. Roberta Martinez, a neurologist who's worked with over 3,000 patients with cognitive decline and now recommends this approach in her own practice.
For years, I told patients there wasn't much we could do. Manage expectations, slow the decline. That was the standard. Then I started seeing patients who'd found this protocol on their own. They were getting better. Not just stable, but better. I had to understand why. Now, I recommend this approach before anything else. The results have been remarkable.
But brain scans and expert opinions only tell part of the story. I want you to hear from real people, people who are exactly where you might be right now.
I'm not going to lie and tell you I'm 100%. I still have a bad day here and there. But before, every day was a bad day. Now it's maybe one a week. My wife said, "You're not perfect, but you're here again." For now, this is better than anything else I've tried, and I can't wait to see further improvements.
My husband looked at me across the breakfast table and said, "There you are." He had tears in his eyes. I didn't even know I'd been gone, but he did. He had been watching me disappear for 2 years. Now I'm back.
My family had already had the talk about assisted living, about whether Dad can live alone. 6 years I've been slipping, thought I was too far gone. It took almost 4 months. But last week, my daughter said, "Dad, we were wrong. You're staying right where you are."
And then there's something I need to show you. My mother. You saw her at the beginning of this episode, the woman who couldn't remember my name. I want to show you something else. This was her 8 months ago. Mom, what were you looking for?
I don't know. I came in here for something. I don't remember.
She couldn't finish sentences, couldn't remember what she'd had for breakfast. Most days, she didn't know what year it was. The doctors told me to make her comfortable and prepare for what was coming. This is her now. Mom, do you remember that song you used to sing to me when I was little and couldn't sleep?
Of course I do.
A soft, tender lullaby tune.
I remember all of it now. Every word, every night I sang it to you.
I missed you, Mom.
I'm right here, sweetheart. I'm not going anywhere.
That's my mother. The woman doctors said was too far gone. She's not too far gone. She's back.
And that's why we're doing this. That's why we couldn't stay quiet. If this can work for me, for Emily's mother, for the thousands of people already using it, I see absolutely no reason why it can't work for you too, or for someone you love who's slipping away right now while you're watching this. Don't let them tell you nothing can be done. That's a lie.
Dr. Nakamura, Tom's recovery, my mother's transformation, it all comes back to this protocol. But how does someone actually access it? What exactly are they taking?
That's the question that kept me up at night after we saw Tom's results. The protocol works. But it was complicated and very expensive, sourcing ingredients from 3 different continents. The average person doesn't have time to become a neuroscientist just to protect their brain. So I knew exactly what I had to do. I assembled an international team of 8 specialists from Johns Hopkins, Tokyo University, and universities across 3 continents. Together, we set out to simplify the protocol without losing any of its power. We went through 23 failed versions. But version 24, that's when everything changed. We didn't just replicate the original protocol. We made it stronger, more bioavailable, faster acting, and far more affordable than sourcing the raw ingredients yourself. But I refused to release it until we were absolutely certain. So we gathered a group of 500 volunteers. Not easy cases, the most desperate, complicated situations we could find. People who had been struggling for years, decades. People whose doctors had written them off. The results? They completely exceeded anything we had hoped for. Within 60 days, 89% reported sharper focus, faster recall, and clearer thinking. Then the emails started pouring in. Men and women in their 60s, 70s, 80s, desperate to share their stories, desperate to thank us. I remembered my grandson's birthday for the first time in 3 years. My wife said, "I'm finally here again." And this other one here, I felt like someone turned the lights back on. At that moment, I knew we couldn't keep this to ourselves any longer, and we haven't. We put everything, the full protocol, all 10 ingredients, clinical dosages, into one simple capsule. We call it Vitamin 1. And I'm proud to say this is the first and only formula in the world specifically designed to restore your brain and to give you your mind back, your memory, your clarity, your independence, your life. Vitamin 1 has already improved the lives of over 47,000 people across the country. And we're now getting hundreds of daily requests from Canada, the UK, Europe, even Australia, and New Zealand. The results held up across every age group, every severity level, and they've been consistent from the very first batch to today. And here's what tells me it really works. People come back for more bottles, for themselves, for their spouse, for their parents. You don't reorder something that doesn't deliver. Based on everything I've seen, I'm confident you'll experience the same.
Doctor, before you reveal exactly what makes this so powerful, I want our viewers to hear from a few more people who've actually tried it. Real people, real results.
I was skeptical, I'll admit it. I'd tried everything. The Ginkgo, the fish oil, the prescription stuff that made me sick, but my daughter begged me to try this. Within 3 weeks, I was remembering her kids' names again, all of them. I cried like a baby.
The fog, that's what I called it. Like living behind a dirty window. 6 weeks on this protocol, and one morning I woke up and the window was clean. I can't explain it better than that. I'm me again.
My doctor told me to get my affairs in order. Those were his exact words. That was 14 months ago. Last week, I beat my grandson at chess twice.
Now let me walk you through exactly what's inside and why each ingredient matters. Because this isn't some random mix of vitamins. Every single compound serves a specific purpose, targeting either the plastic stranglehold, the type 3 diabetes, or both. I'll keep this simple. No chemistry lecture, I promise. The first group breaks the stranglehold. We start with saffron extract, specifically Crocus sativus L, the same strain studied at Tehran University of Medical Sciences. In a randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Clinical Pharmacy and Therapeutics, participants taking this exact form of saffron showed significant improvements in memory and cognitive function within just 16 weeks. Why? Saffron contains crocin and crocetin, compounds proven to reduce neuroinflammation and protect neurons from oxidative damage.
In plain English, it sends a cleaning crew into your brain to clear the debris.
Exactly. Next, fucoxanthin and fucoidan from Japanese sea kelp. A 2021 study in marine drugs found that fucoxanthin crosses the blood-brain barrier and directly reduces the neuroinflammation caused by microplastics. Meanwhile, fucoidan, published in Neural Regeneration Research, supports the growth of new neural connections.
New connections? You mean the brain can actually rebuild itself?
Yes. This is what most people don't understand. Your brain isn't just declining. With the right support, it can repair damage that's already been done. New synapses, new pathways. That's not theory. That's published science.
That's exactly what I experienced. It wasn't just that the fog lifted. I felt like my brain was getting stronger, sharper than it had been in years.
Then we added oleuropein from olive leaf extract. You've heard that Mediterranean diets protect the brain. Oleuropein is the reason why. Research from the University of Florence found it reduces oxidative stress in brain tissue by up to 40%. These 4 ingredients together, that's the wrecking crew. They break the stranglehold, reduce inflammation, and clear the obstruction so signals can flow again.
Okay, but what about the other attack, the type 3 diabetes?
That's where the second group comes in. The cornerstone is berberine HCl. A 2020 meta-analysis in Frontiers in Pharmacology analyzed 46 clinical trials and concluded that berberine improves insulin sensitivity as effectively as prescription medications without the side effects. But here's what matters for your brain. Berberine activates what researchers call your metabolic master switch. When that switch flips on, your neurons can finally absorb glucose again.
They can finally eat after years of starving.
We paired it with Ceylon cinnamon. Research from the Human Nutrition Research Center found it improves insulin receptor sensitivity by up to 20%. And corosolic acid from banaba leaf, it opens the doorways that allow fuel into your cells. If berberine is the key, corosolic acid widens the door. Kudzu flower extract rounds it out. Research from Sichuan University showed it improves glucose uptake specifically in brain tissue. Not just the body, the brain, exactly where type 3 diabetes does its damage.
So one group clears the roadblock, the other restores the fuel supply. Both attacks handled at the same time.
Correct. But here's the breakthrough. Our hero ingredient, Morosil.
A patented extract from Sicilian blood oranges grown in volcanic soil at the base of Mount Etna. What makes Morosil special? It works on both mechanisms simultaneously, reduces inflammation, and improves metabolic function. But more importantly, it amplifies every other ingredient in the formula. It's the conductor that makes the whole orchestra play together. A clinical study in the International Journal of Food Sciences and Nutrition confirmed it reduces inflammatory markers while improving metabolic function at the same time.
So you're not just taking 10 separate ingredients. You're taking 10 ingredients that multiply each other's effects.
Exactly. That's what makes PhytoMem-1 different from anything else on the market.
And how does someone actually take this? Is it complicated?
1 capsule, once a day. That's the entire protocol. And I should mention, most people can take PhytoMem-1 alongside their existing medications without any issue. The concentration of each ingredient has been carefully balanced to be both safe and effective. We designed this for real people with real medicine cabinets, not laboratory conditions. 10 ingredients working in concert, each one backed by peer-reviewed research. Both mechanisms targeted simultaneously. All in 1 capsule you take with your morning coffee.
That's literally what I do. 1 capsule.
Yeah.
10 seconds. And my brain is protected for the day. When I think about the thousands I wasted on supplements that did nothing, pills that made me sick, and it turns out the answer was this simple, honestly, it makes me angry. But mostly, it makes me grateful I found it before it was too late.
Simple to take. Years of research to create.
Exactly. For the person taking it, 10 seconds a day. That's all it asks of you.
Dr. Nakamura, a question I know people are wondering. What happens if they stop taking it? Is this something they need to take forever?
Great question. And the answer is no. This isn't a drug that masks symptoms. You're not renting clarity, you're restoring it. Here's the beauty of this. The ingredients work with your body's natural detoxification pathways. Over time, they train your system to recognize and expel these harmful particles on its own. That's real, lasting change. Of course, if you want extra support, you can shift to maintenance mode. 1 capsule every other day, or a few times a week, just to stay ahead of ongoing exposure.
That's true. I don't believe in miracle pills. So I took the full protocol. The changes are undeniable. And even now, I still take it once or twice a week. But that's my choice. Not because I'll fall apart without it, because I never want to go back to where I was, ever.
Dr. Nakamura, before we go any further, I have to ask you something. I know some viewers are wondering. You helped create this formula. You're here promoting it. Are you being paid every time someone orders?
Fair question. I received no commission on sales. 0. My compensation was a one-time consulting fee for the formulation work. That's it. I'm here because I believe in the science. I'm here because I've watched this change lives, including Tom's, including your mother's. Not because I profit when you click a button.
And I had to ask. I think people deserve to know that. So the question everyone watching is asking, how do I get PhytoMem-1? And what does it cost? Before I answer that, I want you to think about something. Think about your memory right now, the fog, the frustration, the fear of what's coming. Now imagine waking up 6 months from now with a sharp, clear mind, remembering names instantly, following conversations without losing the thread, being fully present with your family instead of fading into the background. How much would that be worth to you?
I'll tell you what it was worth to me. I spent over $14,000 trying to get my memory back. Neurologists, brain scans, supplements, prescription drugs that made me sick. $14,000. And I got nothing. I got worse. I would have paid 10 times if someone had just told me the truth.
And that's what most people don't realize. The average person with memory problems spends $5,000 to $10,000 a year chasing solutions that don't work because they don't address the real cause. Now, let me show you something. If you tried to source these ingredients yourself, the clinical-grade saffron extract, the patented morosil from Sicily, the Japanese sea kelp compounds, the high-potency berberine, you'd easily spend $650 a month, maybe more. And that's if you could find them at the right quality and dosage. We calculated it. That's almost $8,000 a year. Now, I know some of you are wondering, aren't there other memory supplements on the market? What makes Phytomem 1 different? Let me show you. Most supplements on the market, they're throwing random brain vitamins at symptoms. Ginkgo, B vitamins, fish oil. None of them address the plastic stranglehold. None of them restore insulin sensitivity in the brain. Like Tom said, they're selling you a mop while your house is flooding.
That chart right there,
No.
That's why I wasted $14,000 before I found this.
Phytomem 1 is the only formula specifically designed to fight both attacks simultaneously. Now, given all this, and considering most people spend $5,000 to $10,000 a year chasing solutions that don't work, we could have easily priced it at $900 a bottle. That would still be a fraction of what people spend on useless alternatives. But that's not why we created this. And I have some fantastic news. You're not going to pay $500 for a bottle of Phytomem 1.
Right.
You're not going to pay $300. You're not even going to pay $200.
Because this isn't about making money.
This is about getting this solution into the hands of as many people as possible before it's too late for them.
I insisted on that. When I think about the years I lost, the moments I'll never get back, I refuse to let price be the reason someone misses this. Not on my watch.
Yes, that's only fair. Yeah. So here's what we've done. Below this video, you'll see 3 options to get Phytomem 1 at the best price possible ever. So which package should you choose? Let me be straight with you. People usually underestimate their memory problems, and only you know exactly what's the extent of your memory problems. But if you're serious about clearing the plastic stranglehold and getting your memory back, I definitely recommend at least 3 bottles. Here's why. The microplastics in your brain didn't build up overnight. They've been accumulating for years, maybe decades. 3 bottles gives your body 90 full days to flush out those toxic particles, restore your brain's ability to fuel itself, and kickstart the reconnection of neural pathways that have been blocked for God knows how long. That's the minimum time Dr. Nakamura says most people need to experience a real transformation. But here's the thing. If you've been walking into rooms and forgetting why you're there, if names slip away moments after you hear them, if you've ever looked at someone you've known for years and drawn a complete blank, if you've started avoiding conversations because you're afraid you'll lose your train of thought, or if someone you love has started looking at you differently, like they're already grieving the person you used to be, then you should seriously consider the 6-bottle package, and let me tell you why. First, it gives you an uninterrupted 6-month supply. No gaps, no breaks, no waiting for the next shipment while the progress you've made starts slipping away. You stay consistent. Your brain stays protected. Second, memory loss didn't happen in a week, and it won't be fully reversed in a week either. 6 bottles gives your brain the extended time it needs for a complete transformation. Not just surface level improvements, but deep, lasting change. The kind where your spouse looks at you and says, "You're really back." Third, you get the absolute best value. The 6-bottle package comes with the steepest discount we offer, plus free shipping, plus an exclusive gift worth over $200 I'll tell you about in just a moment. And remember, when you break it down, this major health investment costs less per day than a single cup of coffee. Over 73% of our customers choose the 6-bottle package. Once people start feeling the difference, they don't want to risk running out.
I started with the 3-bottle. Big mistake. By month 2, I was sharper than I'd been in 15 years. I panicked thinking I'd run out. Ordered 6 more bottles immediately. My only regret? Not getting the 6th bottle from the start.
Henry is just one of the thousands of good folks who saw this unique opportunity and did what's best for him. Like you, these are people who are serious about their memory, serious about their future. They're not gambling with 1 bottle hoping for a miracle. They're committing to a real transformation. And honestly, the 6-bottle package is really about peace of mind. Knowing you've taken a real step to protect your memory. Knowing you won't have to worry about running out. Knowing that 6 months from now, you could be a completely different person. Sharp, clear, present, fully yourself again. That kind of peace of mind, it's priceless.
Emily, you're 100% right, but we must be transparent about something. The Moroso comes from one farm in Sicily, one at the base of Mount Etna. Those blood oranges only grow in volcanic soil at a specific altitude. You can't replicate it, you can't rush it. And every supplement company in the world is now trying to get their hands on it. The saffron is high-grade Persian, the best in the world. But Persian means Iran, and with Iran, supply chains can break at any time. These are not ingredients we can source from anywhere. Our current supplier agreement guarantees pricing through the end of this quarter. After that, I cannot promise these prices will hold, and demand has been overwhelming. We've had to reorder 3 times in 2 months. Last month, we ran out for 11 days. 11 days of people waiting, frustrated, because we couldn't keep up. I'm not saying this to pressure you, I'm saying it because it's true. If you leave this page and come back in a week, I cannot guarantee the price will be the same, or that we'll have inventory at all. When that number hits 0, this offer is done. And I honestly don't know when the next batch will be ready.
So if you're watching this and you know this is for you, or for someone you love who's slipping away, don't wait. Frankly, not many people have a second chance at getting freedom and independence again. Act now and choose the package that makes sense for you. And if you're truly serious, if you want the best value, the best results, and the peace of mind that comes with being fully stocked, go with the 6th bottle. It's what I'd choose, it's what Tom chose. It's what 73% of our customers choose. And I believe it's the right choice for you too. Now, I know some of you are thinking, this sounds incredible, but I've been burned before. I've spent money on supplements that promised the world and delivered nothing.
I spent 40 years in courtrooms prosecuting people who made promises they couldn't keep. I understand skepticism. I respect skepticism, which is why I insisted on this next part.
Every bottle of Phytomem 1 comes with a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Let me be absolutely clear about what that means. You try for a full 60 days. Enough time to feel the fog lift. Enough time to notice the words coming back, the names returning, the clarity sharpening. If at any point during those 60 days you're not completely satisfied, for any reason or no reason at all, you contact our team. We refund every penny. No questions asked, no hoops, no awkward phone calls. You don't even need to send the bottles back.
Wait, you keep the bottles and get your money back?
Yes, we're not interested in making this difficult. If it doesn't work for you, we don't want your money. Period.
I pushed for this guarantee because I know what it feels like to be desperate, to try something and hope, really hope, that this time will be different. And I know how it feels when it isn't. If it doesn't give you the results we've described, if you don't feel sharper, clearer, more like yourself, you should now pay for it. That's not a sales pitch, that's my word.
We can offer this guarantee because we've seen the results. We've watched people transform. We've read the emails, the letters, the phone calls from family members who got their loved ones back. We're not worried about refunds. We're worried about the people who don't try it because they're afraid of being burned again. But before we go any further, I'm not done. When you choose the 3 or 6 bottle package today, you also get 3 bonus guides. Absolutely free. And these aren't throwaway PDFs we slapped together overnight. These are real tools that Dr. Nakamura's team developed specifically to accelerate and protect your results. Bonus 1, the Memory Shield Diet. When Dr. Nakamura first revealed the microplastics connection, I asked him straight out, what should we be eating? And what are we eating right now that's making this worse? His answers floored me. There are everyday foods most people consider perfectly healthy that are actively accelerating microplastic absorption in your brain. And there are specific foods that help your body flush them out faster. We turned everything he told us into a complete guide. Every food that protects your brain. Every food that's secretly attacking it. It normally retails for $67. Yours free. Bonus 2, the 5-minute brain reboot. 5 minutes every morning, that's all this asks of you. These are specific exercises designed to wake up your neurons and prime your brain for the day. The exact routine Tom developed during his own recovery. Not theory, not generic wellness advice. The actual daily practice that helped get the machine back online. This one retails at $97. Yours free.
I still do it every single morning.
Okay.
Without fail.
Right.
I credit it for how quickly I turn the corner. 5 minutes, it's nothing, and it changes everything.
And bonus 3, the Caregiver's Survival Guide. This one is personal to me because here's what nobody talks about. Memory loss doesn't just happen to the person going through it. It happens to the people watching, the spouses, the children, the ones holding everything together while someone they love slips away in front of them. I was one of those people, and I was drowning. Nobody tells you how hard that is. Nobody gives you a roadmap. This guide is for them. Practical strategies, emotional tools, the things I desperately wish someone had handed me when my mother was at her worst. This one retails at $47. Yours free.
Emily, that one's going to mean a lot to people.
Combined, these 3 guides are valued at over $200, but they're yours free with any 3 or 6 bottle package. We didn't have to include these, but we want you to succeed, not just for a few days or months, but for the rest of your life.
I need to be honest with you. I found out about this 8 months before I actually tried it. 8 months I wasted telling myself I'd get to it. By the time I started, I couldn't remember my own zip code. It worked, thank God. But my doctor said I'd lost ground I didn't have to lose. Please don't make my mistake.
I want to say something to the person who's thinking, this sounds good. I'll come back to it. Maybe next week, maybe next month. I understand that impulse. I had it too. But here's what I wish someone had told me. The plastic stranglehold doesn't wait. It doesn't pause while you think it over. Every single day you delay, more debris accumulates, more connections get crushed, more memories slip through your fingers. Remember that study? Plastic levels in brain tissue increased 50% in just 8 years. That's not slowing down, that's accelerating. And it's happening inside your head right now, today, while you're watching this.
Tom is right. I've heard from people who waited 6 months, a year to start the protocol. They still improved, but they've lost ground they didn't need to lose, ground that's harder to recover. There is no perfect time to address this. There's only now or later when it's harder.
I'm not saying this to pressure you. I'm saying it because I wasted 2 years convincing myself I had time. I didn't. And honestly, you probably don't either.
So let me be direct with everyone watching right now. You're at a fork in the road, 2 paths, and what you decide in the next few minutes could determine the rest of your life. Path 1, you do nothing. You close this page, you tell yourself you'll think about it. Maybe come back later, maybe try something else first. And what happens? Your grandchildren's names, your spouse's stories, the details that make you you, they fade one by one. 6 months from now, you're worse. A year from now, you don't recognize yourself in the mirror. The doctors shrug and say, it's just aging. Your family starts having conversations about options, about nursing homes, about what to do with mom, with dad, with you.
I've seen that path. I was on that path. I know exactly where it leads.
Path 2. You take action today. You choose your package, you click the button, you start the protocol, and in a few weeks, the fog starts to lift. The words come back. You wake up with clarity instead of confusion. Imagine walking into a room and remembering exactly why you came. Imagine your grandchild's birthday party and you remember every name, every gift, every moment. Imagine your spouse looking at you across the breakfast table and saying, there you are, you're back. Imagine being fully present for the years you have left. Sharp, independent, yourself, instead of fading into a fog while your family watches helplessly.
That's not a fantasy. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to Emily's mother. That's what's happening right now for over 47,000 people who made this decision.
The choice is yours, but I'm begging you, don't waste this. Don't let fear of being burned again stop you from getting your mind back. Don't wake up 6 months from now wishing you'd acted when you had the chance.
And remember, the guarantee means there is no risk. You have nothing to lose except the fog. So here's what I want you to do right now. Look below this video, click the one that makes sense for you, and when the fog lifts, when the words come back, when you feel like yourself again, you'll wonder why you ever hesitated.
Now, before you click below, I know some of you still have questions, so let me answer the most common ones quickly. Will this work for me? My situation feels different. Every brain is unique, but we're all human. The plastic stranglehold affects everyone who's been exposed to microplastics, which is everyone alive today. Type 3 diabetes is a biological mechanism that works the same way in every brain. This has worked for over 47,000 people across every age group, every severity level. There's no reason it won't work for you. And if it doesn't, you're protected by the guarantee. How long before I see results? Most people notice the fog lifting within the first 2 to 3 weeks. But the real transformation, the I feel like myself again moment, that usually happens between day 60 and day 90. That's why we recommend the 3-bottle minimum and why most people choose the 6-bottle. What if I'm taking other medications? For most people, there's no issue at all. However, if you're currently taking blood thinners or certain diabetes or blood pressure medications, I recommend taking it at least 2 hours apart from your other meds. This isn't a warning, it's simply responsible guidance. How long will this be available? Honestly, I don't know. The ingredients are expensive and difficult to source. We've already had supply issues, and the pharmaceutical industry is not happy about what we're doing. I can't promise this page will be here tomorrow, so please don't waste any more precious time. You have 2 paths today. Close this page and accept the fog, or click the button below and secure your memories while supplies last.
Emily's right, it's time to get your mind back. I can't wait to hear your success story.
Tom, thank you so much for being here. And to everybody watching, thank you for your time. And God willing, I'll be hearing your story next.